It almost, if I could.
Oh, there's the conflagration. Oh, that was. Boy, that's a big project. Do you like it better? Do you?
I have to finish.
And that's where it starts. In the beginning was the Word. And so from there, though, all this can happen. Okay, from that text to the images to the compilation of the text into a cogent statement, and the compilation of the images into a cogent statement, and the integration of the film, and the painting, and the dance, and the music, all of it, and also the trick to this, and the reason why this is, the most important aspect of this is this meeting between, because Marshall McLuhan said, the way that this civilization is going to be saved is if the humanities and science meet halfway.
I gotta go after.
Okay, and that's the importance of these mechanical devices that we're going to use to synchronize all these different elements and move them around, so that when people are talking about erasing boundaries, right, between the artist and the viewer, that's a simpleton's view of what's possible. That's the most reductive interpretation of where art is today. I want the viewer to feel like they're creating the piece. Well, that's like throwing away your responsibility as an artist, and I don't adhere to that, because I know from working with so many people, and probably everyone here does, that when you try to, except maybe for Brent, because you've been you haven't taught, and Chip to some degree, and Sharon, because when you work with people, you start to understand that out of 100 people, you're going to find one person who has the tools to take what you can give them and make it their own, and then take it further. And that's just the way it is, And I've heard people say that there's an artist waiting to be awakened in every person. I don't believe that's true. It's just not true. Because what we're going to convince the viewer of is that there's something more than that. They can, and not that it's wrong to go and play, not that it's wrong to even take the tools and try to make something with them, because that's good. But if you want to see this object, if you want to participate in this object, you have to acknowledge that this is an immaculate moment. That this is not something that Fred can come up with today. That this is something that creative, intelligent people created over a period of time, that's evolving, and that can't be reproduced. It's a qualification of the time that we're in. Yeah, but the fact of the matter is that Sirens Conflagrations will not have the same resonance that it has right now 5 months ago, or 5 weeks ago, or 5 years from now. It won't make the same sense. And the artist, like what defines artists is that the artist acts now. That's why hitting is so important. I started when I came up with this concept, writing this day
I know, then all of a sudden the words come out and you're like, oh God. I think the music of that is going to be more of my verbal.
One of the things that I talk about, I can print for this. It's like, you want to take that sound down always. You want to take one down, double together, and reproduce that. That's how the sound, that's how the rest of the audio. That's what they, I think that whatever you do, now that everybody's doing that, that's happening. Well, maybe. You're right. Yeah, that's a good point. I think that Brent has worked on film, but Ellen every day works in a collaborative. That's like the magic of what you do. You orchestrate, production, and you certainly, as a dancer and a troupe, have to be able to play a role. I mean, you have to be able to do that. And Sharon, as a musician, has to do that. She plays two different.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do the individual achievement.
I think it's people that
And I think that the key to this is that everyone, to whatever degree, has to be able. You have to be able. That's really what we're confronted in. The actual film form, you have to be there.
But even like if you get some shots,
have to get
I mean, he's doing
It's absolutely vital. And when it comes time to sit down and create a document of what we're making here, now you have to be there, and you have to visualize it, and really, yours is probably the most difficult job of all, because what that
I think that
text will be is not just a document, but a teaching tool, and also a remembering. This is something I put down there. It's a remembering device, because the installation it'll be up for a year, but a person won't experience it for a year. Most likely, if we do our job, people will come back. They'll come back specifically to see it.
Where that layering actually.
Yeah, right. That's another. But at any rate, the viewer will be able to go, experience it, take this home, and then relive aspects of it, not the thing. But we need to show the difference between reliving the aspect, the memory of it, the ghosts of it, the shades of it.
That's what's important to me, because that's how I'm going to interpret it, is by understanding each person throughout the whole thing. That's how book will
One of the things that is important to remember is that this is a study for a much larger project. When I talked to Chip about this, and the way that we're going to build this is going to be Chip Cox and Paul McLean as the artists, and we have to come up with everyone's name. A name for the gang. But the reason why it's going to be Chip and myself, he's now expressed his willingness to commit to taking this as far as we can go. Because what we're going to be saying is that this is the meeting between science and the artist. Okay, and we have to make that as clear as possible, and that's the way to do it. Okay, and then everyone else that's involved. My view is that this is a team. This is a team. As we continue to grow, if we add elements of drama or elements of dance, you will be in charge of that. Okay? And as we add, or broaden our view of what we can accomplish with text or with books, you will be in charge of that. If we want to take this further into film, you'll be in charge of that. Okay.
Let's do that. You also have a digital camera that we can shoot a couple shots of that.
I think it would be. Don't you think this could be the hottest thing in the world?
600.
Look how good looking we all are.
There's never been an inline production.
Got a nice run too. Actually,
If you get a Doris, you get to turn around and
can actually, they can do it I don't know what their schedule will be like tomorrow, but it'd be 2 hours.
I'm not worried about Sundance. I'm worried about the whole world.
Well, that happens one thing at a time. See,
We'll have it done.
What do you mean in
I
that?
really think that we should. Also, Mark Harris has a. What I think is the reason for it.
for our document.
And also, actually, I want to use it for
Right. Right.
Really bad resolution. Well, we're just figuring out 5.
the reason why I need it.
Nah, everything's done.
It's new stuff. Well, not new stuff.
It's an habit.
But anyway, the reason
Stuff I don't use.
the reason I need it is
They
because
are
I need it
left
for
on the top.
those 7 images that are just very exciting. I really, and also the cover. I really need it. I think that because one of the things that Chip said yesterday was want this to be as close to what that's where you can possibly get it.
You know what I'm saying?
So you
Luck there.
See, that was my question.
Good idea.
I think that somehow.
The actual piece will be installed at the end of March 31st.
Almost, if I could just.
Well, each person has to develop a timeline for what your requirements are. We forgot that.
See, usually you get all that.
I have to.
But we can't do it that way because and also we also need that's an
See, that's how I do my film. Really, that's a bad way to see that.
Let's figure it out. A place where we can link It's a wonderful idea. What would you do? Well, we can, by the way.
No, it's just not they'll be able to there's just no reason.
They rock. There may be a reason to. That's what Chip's saying. If we need to, we can. Yeah, that's. I think Brent's concerned about the cost. Get that headshot. Am I right? But for the cheap, but see, listen though, the thing, this is why it's really good that we're starting small, because the fact is that because we're starting small, those kind of concerns we can go back. I think. I mean, if we were talking about like,
But I don't go into it thinking necessarily. You know what I mean?
yeah, but if we, well, that's of course not. That's none of us are going to do that. You know, I'm not going to. I mean, you know, it's. But here's the thing. When I did, Ellen, how many images? I did 140 images last week. And you know what? We're not going to use one of them.
I would just get it real simple, like a
the
white
text
sheet
that
or
we're gonna
white
get for the
drapey dress.
Okay. Well, the film texture though is completely different. But let me finish what I was going to say, because I think it's important. When I looked at that this afternoon, when I started to work on the images we are going to use for the text, I was pissed. I was mad because I put in dozens of hours of work to make that happen. Okay.
What's going to be coming
However,
down from your digital
it just hit me because I've done this enough. What you find is that if I hadn't done this, I wouldn't have the right idea when I actually sat down to do it. You know, it really is a process of discovering
Okay.
through
those
work.
guys will be
It's
interacting
work.
with her image as
What we
the
do is
dancer
work.
on this wall.
And sometimes the
Okay,
first
so
time,
she's
the
in one
first idea that
film
you
over here
have,
that's being
even though it
projected
may
on this
feel
wall.
right and it may seem
Okay.
right and intellectually
Even though that's
works
filmed
right.
separately.
Well, what I would do in that
From the
sense is
guys.
shoot on video first, and then once
It'll be
everything's
synchronized so that those two
crystallized
elements are
as far as
interacting.
the idea.
So the guys will eventually, as everything builds, the guys will be looking.
You know, I mean, you can do, that is good to do a working film or video and analyze and say, okay, is this working, is this not? And then do it on film.
That makes sense to me.
Like you mean just shoot it on your camera?
Right.
What do you think,
Yeah,
Jeff?
You know, shoot it on this.
That's what, yeah.
Say, look, this is kind of what we're going for. You know,
But
what do
it
y'all
also-
think?
Eventually, we're doing a VHS projection anyway, right?
Yeah, eventually, right. But what happens